Marching in today's parade are 262 of the graduating Marines from Company C. Among the 262 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performances in 2 individually graded events. Private Anthony A. Negreet from Platoon 1047 is the company high shooter, scoring a 337 out of 350. Private First Class Carlos A. Hernandez is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 300 out of 300 on both the physical fitness test and combat fitness test. They will be receiving awards from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Present today is the Company Honor Graduates Recruiter, Staff Sergeant Preston Spangler. Not present today, but worth recognizing, is the primary marksmanship instructor with the platoon high shooting average of 222 for Platoon 1041, Sergeant Zachary B. McKinley. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of a state of discipline which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others toward excellence in common goals. For 246 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls. In the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies, Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Though battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine, with steeled resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on again on all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis, to corps, country, and each other that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be most ready when the nation is least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company C, today marks the end of the 13-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton and on this parade deck, and have been trained, as are all Marines, as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They're Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. Following the command, parade rest, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward of the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops. At the command, Officers Center March, all unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, those in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for their dedicated service to Corps and country. Thank you. Please be seated. Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Gregory A. Grayson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of today's ceremony is to recognize these new Marines and everything they've accomplished. Their journey began 13 long weeks ago when they stepped on the yellow footprints and committed to becoming Marines. They arrived as individuals, perhaps a little unsure of their decision, but stand before you as a confident team of smartly disciplined Marines. During the past 3 months, we developed their physical and mental toughness so they're able to thrive in complex and chaotic environments. They learned essential warfighting skills. They hiked countless miles, learned how to operate in the field, and completed intensive marksmanship training. They were taught how to decide, act, and communicate with initiative, clarity, and exceptional judgment, and they proved themselves to be leaders of character who inspire and treat others with dignity and respect. Their training culminated with a rite of passage through the Crucible, a grueling 54-hour test of teamwork and endurance. And throughout, they came to embrace our core values of honor, courage, and commitment, with a clear understanding that being a Marine carries a special trust and confidence in the highest expectations of the American people. Now, as you might imagine, this awesome and very magical transformation didn't happen by itself. And I'd like to recognize those who are involved. First, we recognize each Marine's journey started long before they got here. The foundation of Good morning, Marines! Hey, Charlie Company, I know it seems like a lifetime ago when you were offered the challenge of becoming a Marine. And when you arrived... Are we there? We're good. Technical difficulties, but we'll work through it. Appreciate your patience. So when you arrived on your buses and stepped on those yellow footprint, graduation was the last thing on your mind. You're probably thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And how do I get these guys to stop yelling at me? Well, you had a lot to learn and some very steep hills to climb, but you did it. You have rightfully earned the title Marine. Be proud of your accomplishment and the uniform you now wear. And finally, as I remarked on your first day of training, whether you serve for 4 years or 24 years, please remember, it's not about you. It's about all the Marines who have gone before you, whose legacy you are now a part of. It's about that Marine standing to your left and to your right. It's about all these people in the stands in this great nation which you've sworn to defend. So, serve with honor, serve with courage, and serve with commitment, and you'll do well. Congratulations again, Marines, on your tremendous achievement. Please, take care of one another and remain Semper Fidelis. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you America's newest United States Marines.
Now taking their position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing official, Chief Warrant Officer 4, Anthony L. Vigiani, Marine Gunner, Training and Education Command. He's accompanied by Colonel Joseph W. Jones, Commanding Officer for Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Chief Warrant Officer 4, Anthony L. Vigiani, Marine Gunner, Training and Education Command. Chief Warrant Officer 4, Vigiani is a native of Cleveland, Ohio, and enlisted in the Marine Corps in June 1998. After graduating basic training, he attended School of Infantry East in Camp Geiger, North Carolina. Marines have been trained here in the past 100 years and have departed San Diego for combat in conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Busan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon, Wayne City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Iraq, Marjah, Afghanistan, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Troops, Captain Roberto G. Cruz Jr., Company Commander, and the Regimental Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Crew Depot, San Diego, California. Series 1041. Series Commander, First Lieutenant Nicholas A. Perrette. Honor Platoon 1041. Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Eric Garcia. Platoon 1042. Senior Drill Instructor, Sergeant Nathaniel M. Flores. Platoon 1043. Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Justin Troy Reyes. The Regimental Color Guard is led by the Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor Sergeant Jesus R. Aguilera. Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company C prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp today, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman.
To hear them when they're doing their thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Roberto G. Cruz, Jr. The company first sergeant is Gunnery Sergeant Jonathan Lopez. The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony.
Fans to know.
Boot camp was interesting. It's as close to prison as you can get while still willingly being there. It's really, really awesome. You start to learn everything about boot camp, about the drill instructors, and as they were saying, the message today was that the drill instructors are with you every waking second. They are there, and if they're not there with you in a waking second, they're asleep. It's really amazing. Honestly, if you asked me if the drill instructors were there the entire 3 months, I would have said, no, they obviously change out every 2 weeks. You know, there's no way they could be there the entire time. But they were the entire time.
Wow.